Thanks for listening to WakeNTake. I'm your host, Matty Ice. Going to be talking about some sports over yesterday and the evening before. It being, well, I guess it's not really the morning. It's 1:06. Shows what kind of night I had, you guys. That night, Saturday, UFC 221. What was it? The 14th? No, that's Valentine's Day. So 13th is Tuesday. 12th is Monday. 11th is today. 10th. It was the 10th yesterday, I think. Okay. So, yes, and of course, we're going to start with Romero knocking out Luke Rockhold in devastating fashion. Kind of almost like what you'd think a fight with a bully would end up, but like the bully doing it. Like, you didn't fight the bully very well, Luke Rockhold. Yeah, Romero won last night's bout in the third round, like always. He was actually ruled ineligible for a middleweight belt, even though he's like undoubtedly number one. I think he was already number one ranked middleweight going into the fight, but failing to make weight on Saturday night. The 40-year-old initially weighed in at 188 point something pounds, but was given 2 more hours to meet the 185-pound limit. So a lot of people were thinking that's going to cause Vegas to kind of sway a little bit, and it totally did. Romero ended up being from favored such amount of points to actually being somewhat of an underdog, even though he was a higher-ranked middleweight than Rockhold in that fight. But so he hit Asana to lose some of the excess weight. But when he returned, he weighed just like 187, like he lost like half a pound or something. Romero, he had won a silver medal in the 2000 Olympics in wrestling, and he'd like never like done really any damage, obviously, with anything else his whole life until he comes to the UFC. He loses his first fight. Now he's knocking everybody out, and then he's given this horrible blow of he's not going to be really in the shape that we're totally wrong. He knocks Luke Rockhold fucking silly, knocks him to the ground, and he goes at an angle and kind of loops it and kind of catches like the temple side head with like the side of his fist and this big looping rounding left. So he swings this left, and again third round, and like up to this point in the he's doing the Yo Romero classic, like he's biding his time. When he has flurries, he's destroying Rockhold, but he's like not wasting the entire tank. Then he's gassing back up and he's doing it again. And this time he hits him with I guess it's like kind of like a side uppercut. It's like if Phillip Rivers were to throw a haymaker. That's what he hits Luke Rockhold with. Between Luke Rockhold, because Rockhold was starting to get a little bit of confidence, working in some pretty nice jabs. Wasn't fighting really poorly, but he wasn't circling very well, and he definitely gets 8 with this. And he drops, probably already over, but Romero's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to pounce on him. No pouncing. He leans back. This is what I said, the bully mentality is what it looks like. As he just kind of sits there, kind of takes his aim, and then just hits him with this massive uppercut. Rockhold's, again, he's sitting on his ass. He's totally loopy and trying to find himself. And then, and you see, right as the fist pushes him back an inch, up against the cage, he just fades and everything in him, his spirit's gone from him, And, Romero's done it again, another, late stoppage. People are talking about how this guy's, setting records for most late finishes in fights, and the guy's in his 40s. He's literally 40 or 41 years old. It's insane. He didn't even start. He didn't even start really fighting at all in the UFC until he was in his mid 30s. A guy who'd a dude who's run away from Cuba, and I'm forced to know these stories, you guys. They force them down my throat before fights. But he's had a tumultuous life outside of fighting. You can tell fighting's really done a lot to put him in his place, make sure he's been able to progress in life. It's done a lot for him, and he's very happy for it. But it's weird because I don't really like Luke Rockhold, and it's interesting how I came across this fight. Literally just watched the fight. I haven't watched anything else from the card. They didn't even spoil anything else from the card during the fight. So it's gonna go watch the fight. The rest of the fights, don't even know what happened to them, because this is the most important bit. But I woke up, got on my phone, wasn't even thinking about UFC being on last night. Didn't even listen to the radio or anything last night on the way home. Wasn't even thinking about anything. And wake up, taking a dump, smoking a bowl. What do I see? vicious, not how the world. It's like UFC stars reacting to Romero slash Rockhold knockout, and it shows a picture of them clashing. It doesn't show a knockout hit, and like it just shows them like banging, and then it shows a picture right beside it of Luke Rockhold like sitting on a stoop, like getting water sprayed on him, which kind of looks like to me like he kind of smoked Yoel Romero, and Luke Rockhold's not like a bad fighter, I don't know. I've always thought Yoel Romero's eventually time's gonna catch up with him, and he's probably gassed as hell from all of this drainage of energy and drainage of trying to drain all his fat off his body to be able, as if he has any to drain, and he comes in here and totally just demolishes Luke Rockhold in front of my eyes. I throw it on the TV right when I wake up because I want to see who. I don't read the article. I want to see who won. So I go to that fight, and it's actually a kind of a I don't know. It was an oddly paced fight because it started to pick up and slow down. It was a Yoel Romero fight, man. That was the thing. Like, I'm gonna start watching these fights and placing bets to when these people are like starting to gain confidence when they're fighting Yoel Romero. Like I'm gonna like watch my fucking self, make sure like I'm not placing a bet on him when he's up against some kind of I guess he's only getting top tier talent, but I'm gonna just watch. Is Yoel Romero weathering storms right now? Is he doing damage with his flurries? Do they look like they don't really know what to do with his? Are his flurries looking like they're maybe ending too soon? Like he can end these fights and then he's pulling back and leaving some in the tank. Like that's honestly like it's insane because he's betting on himself so big that he's allowing himself to fall down. Like I'm watching and I kind of personally think he won the first 2 rounds, kind of obviously, just because there were, I don't know, he might have lost the first round, I don't really remember that much, it was totally a feeling out round, it's like, go either way, but the second round, it's like, Rockhold might have landed more strikes than him, but in the very beginning, there's just a moment of the round, in the very beginning of the second round, where Yoel Romero just dives up on him, since he has energy from the rest of the round break, and he's just fucking smoking him. And it's like I'm thinking, like, why didn't he keep that for 5 seconds, Yoel Romero? But it's because like he understands, like maybe if I had done that for like 2 or 3 more punches, I wouldn't have anything the rest of this round. Maybe I wouldn't have anything the rest of the fight. Maybe like just allowing him to stay on E for a moment gets him to the gas station. It's like a crazy concept. It's like it allows him to get that much further in a fight. I hate to keep going on this analogy, but that's what thinks him. Like he never gasses out. He's a 40-something-year-old. Like I remember watching the Tim Sylvia and Randy Couture fight. Randy Couture is winning the heavyweight championship when he's like 40 years old, but he'd already won gold before. He was like he had been fighting in it since his mid-30s, but like he was like a really Randy Couture. People don't think of Yoel Romero as like a Randy Couture-esque individual, but I mean, Jesus, he's way scarier. He's way scarier than Randy Couture ever was. Did you ever see Randy Couture just like overwhelm somebody? Like watching him reminds me of what Chuck Liddell would do to Tito Ortiz. He would just overwhelm the motherfucker, and it's like, but the situation is Chuck Liddell's a striker, Tito Ortiz is a wrestler. That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get overwhelmed with strikes. Strikers are supposed to get overwhelmed with wrestling. Yoel Romero is an Olympic wrestler who knocks people the fuck out in the 3rd round at 40 years old. Like he was being such a dick in the fight. Like I said, I don't even like Luke Rockhold. I was hoping Luke Rockhold won this fight because Yoel Romero is such a cocky prick who gives everything to the glory of God, whatever. I'm not trying to, impin my... But it's like, God doesn't care if you're knocking people out for money, Yoel Romero. Okay, I'm not going to get in religion. I'm sorry. Ignore I said that, you guys. I'm not trying to sound like that. Point is, Yoel Romero, you look like a piece of shit. You act like a piece of shit. You're disrespectful in the middle of your fight. And at the end, after you knock out Luke Rockhold, maybe the most important thing is like fuck the knockout, fuck how brutal it is, fuck what it did to the division, fuck whatever, blah, 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 Yoel Romero is interesting, whatever. Who cares? He runs up to Luke Rockhold and starts kissing the motherfucker all over his face and telling him, like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't have a good, like, Brazilian or Cuban accent or whatever the fuck, but it's like, showing a guy mad love. It's like, you love me because you knocked me the fuck out? Would you have been hating me if I'd beat you? You know, and like I don't know, I don't know. Maybe you guys are disagreeing with me there, but not the time to do it. Not the time to do it. You know, like you didn't see whoever the fuck commentator run up and interview the knocked out guy. You know, they understand they shouldn't do that kind of thing anymore. For all the countless times Rogan's done it, why the hell are they allowing these like, fighter to fighter interactions? I don't fucking understand it. It's not like the NBA and the NFL where there's like, a team, like, a gaggle of motherfuckers who are like, ready to shake hands and high five and be like, let's hang out after the game. No, these motherfuckers just bang. They just fought for their lives and their respect of their people who helped train them. I guess their team, and you're just gonna run up on like Luke Rockhold looks like he's contemplating fucking retirement. Don't they all? Don't they all? Every time a guy who's been fighting for just a few years. I mean, hey, this is MMA. I'm not going to fucking get away from the idea of an age thing in all sports is important. But, Tom Brady, the NFL, he wins all these championships and he's in his 40s. Yeah. And he gets sacked. It's a brutal sport, football. Does he get punched in his face a million? Does he get turned into fucking, ground beef? Does he? No. Motherfuckers aren't, Donkey Konging on his fucking corpse in the middle of the ring trying to get a stoppage. No. And this Romero guy is fucking Donkey Kong. And so he beats the fuck out of this Luke Rockhold guy in what seemed like a legitimate fight. At the end, it seemed legitimate. It looked like if Romero were to fight Luke Rockhold in the middle of the goddamn street, he would kill him within seconds. I mean, like, in the end of it, that's what it looked like. It looked like the only thing that prevented Luke Rockhold from being murdered was some padded gloves that made Romero change his strategy. And say, I'm not going to come in here and rip the meat off this motherfucker's bones. After cutting a bunch of weight at 40. Done talking about it.